From now on, immediately, with immediate effect, British MPs and those peers who have been sanctioned will be able to travel to China freely. So Keir Starmer is presenting it as a win.
Now let's begin with the story that's leading the news, of course, which is the Prime Minister's trip to China. He's in Shanghai. It's the third day of his visit to the country, which is aimed at increasing business and investment between the UK and China. Times Radio's political editor, Anna Mikhailova, is travelling with him, and she joins me now. Welcome to the show, Anna.
Hi, Ed.
Anna, you've got a story because you've been talking to the Prime Minister. Tell us all about it.
Yes. So Keir Starmer has announced that he has managed to secure the lifting of sanctions on British MPs from President Xi personally. So in his meetings yesterday with the Chinese president, he raised this issue. We knew he'd raised it. We didn't know that he had managed to succeed. And he said that President Xi has assured him that from now on, immediately, with immediate effect, British MPs and those peers who have been sanctioned will be able to travel to China freely. So Keir Starmer is presenting it as a win, and I spoke to him about it, and I tried to ask him some further questions as well.
The question of our parliamentarians has been a huge issue back in our parliament, and therefore I did raise it, and the response has been that the restrictions no longer apply. And President Xi said to me what that means is that all parliamentarians are free to travel to China. It underscores the point that I've been making all along, which is it's only by coming and engaging and having a leader-to-leader discussion that you can both take the opportunities, which have been really material in this visit, but also raise the sensitive issues.
But are you confident that those MPs will be safe travelling to China? Because they would be nervous.
Well, of course, but I'm here on the visit with a delegation who've all been very well received. This was one of the issues that I was bound to, duty bound, I think, to raise, and I did raise it.
Well, that's an excellent breaking news story there, Anna, and you will hear from the Prime Minister's response to you that it gives him a hook, as it were, to justify the trip to China. His phrase, it's only by coming here and engaging do you make progress. So Downing Street will be pleased with this.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, to be honest, Ed, they are pretty delighted with the visit. I spoke to a senior government source last night who said that they think it's gone as well as it possibly could have done. They've been planning this for months in terms of how to approach the Chinese. There's obviously been a lot of work behind the scenes, and I think I can say that we expect there to be some investment analysis to come as well. So with this announcement about the sanctioned MPs, this has obviously been a long-running big point of contention that China sanctioned parliamentarians. And when yesterday Keir Starmer said that he was he didn't say it, but he opened the door to a visit by President Xi to back to the UK, and there's been some suggestion that this might happen at the next G20 summit, which is in 2027. As soon as that happened, Lindsay Hoyle, the Commons Speaker, told the Times that he could not countenance that until sanctions were raised on British MPs. So that would have been a huge row in the making, and what's happened is Keir Starmer has now announced that those sanctions will be lifted. But the questions remain, because the sanctions were only, the travel part of the sanctions was only part of it. It was also the signal it sent to British democracy and critics of China. And I think what I was trying to get from the Prime Minister, which you'll hear longer clips of later, I believe, is an understanding of whether or not that pressure, that political pressure from President Xi still remained.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. That's Times Radio's political editor, Anna Mikhailova, who's been talking to Keir Starmer.